Killer B back in the building, people. What's happening? Witch Finder General, you got a witch. I'll burn their ass up. Let's go.
Spirit. I don't think it's going to be good for you. Because you're fighting with something that you don't even know. Like you. I don't know, but it ain't Gene Cooper. Certain guns we heard the other night. Voodoo toms. We gotta find them. The scientific community is focusing on the phenomenon, specifically on that trance-like state.
Killer B, the goddamn witch finder general. You got a witch, I'm burning their asses up. Got my favorites up in the building today. Mrs. P and this is me. Welcome, welcome, welcome. About to get it in tonight. Give y'all a little bit of history. Give y'all some of this current news. We're going to tear it down tonight. We're going to tear them all down. See who we can get up in here. Hit that like button on the way in. Turn that red subscribe button to gray. Make sure you hit that goddamn notification bell and join the gang, gang, gang. Let's go. Well. Thank you, Pete. Little live quarantine broadcast. Shit. That's it. Papa Legba, goddammit. Papa Legba. So, we got a good show for y'all today. Y'all can see the title there. I'm sure y'all can see the title. White girl summons Haitian Vodou Lwa and dies. So we're going to read something about this girl. My condolences to the family on the death. But we're just going to talk a little about this thing. What actually happened, what could have happened. Did it happen? And we're going to get a little bit of knowledge along with it, along the way. So basically this video is information video. It's not really to take shots at this young lady that has passed away. Not at all, no, in no way, shape, form, or fashion. Like I said, actually, I'm going to change the title. Let me change the title. Make it a little bit more. There you go. Virginia teen, that's what it is. Virginia teen. Now, Haven't been around a little bit. Been busy. I get some stuff done. School's in session. Yeah, the title's crazy. The title's crazy. Y'all know how I get down. So, yeah, get this video in. I don't know why people love to call me as soon as I hit that live button, but it is what it is. I hope they won't get answered. So, we're going to talk about Papa Legba, one of the chief Orishas in the Haitian Vodou religion. First, we're going to get into this article, and then we're going to talk about Papa Legba, who he really is, the history behind him, the things that he represents within the Haitian Vodou religion. This video started about a young lady from the state of Virginia, teenage girl. She dies after this day, 2 days after making, doing a ritual. Let me move a little closer so y'all guys can hear me good. After doing a ritual to this Haitian Lwa named Papa Legba. So we're going to get into this article. Let me just get into it. All right. It's a shame that such a young person loses her life at such a young age. Cute little girl, too. We're going to get into the screenshot here. You can get down to what could have happened. Give my opinion. Right? That's sanitizer. Right? So, there we go. Virginia teen dies after summoning ancient Haitian voodoo god Papa Legba. All right. This person that you see pictured next to her is an actual. But he's actually a Baron Samedi, who, for some of you Hebrew Israelites out there, know that Rakah from GMS camp is in a biker gang that's represented with Baron Samedi. That's another video. You can check that out. Biker Boy Rakah in GMS. Y'all can check that out. You can see the information on it. So let's get down to this. Let's get down to business. A recent death of a Virginia teen has been blamed on her practicing Haitian voodoo spells to summon the deity known as Papa Legba. 19-year-old Kaitlyn Reston was found dead after she allegedly drowned in a bathtub, according to posts on social media from her friends. Reston's unexpected death came just 2 days after she claimed to have seen Papa Legba. Apparently, after a summoning spell, people warned her not to try. Papa Legba is a Lwa, which are spirits in Haitian voodoo and Louisiana voodoo. Papa Legba represents the West African and Caribbean voodoo god and has many different names depending on the religion in which he's worshipped. Though he's most commonly known in Haiti as Papa Legba. According to the description of Papa Legba from Wikipedia, Legba stands at a spiritual crossroads and gives or denies permission to speak with the spirits of Guinea and is believed to speak all human languages. Papa Legba was famously depicted in 2013's American Horror Story, Coven, Season 3, as a crossroad demon, and the character was portrayed by Lance Reddick. The character believed returned in 2018 American Horror Story Apocalypse Season 8. Right? So we don't really have to get into that. Kaitlyn was part of a group on social media that practices spells. And one day she decides to get into voodoo. When people warned her not to play around, with that stuff. She clapped back on Twitter saying that there's nothing wrong with trying something new. Let people live and have their own religion, she wrote in a post dated March 29th. If someone is into something different, accept that. Stop saying, no, you come from God. Always will be, so shut the fuck up and let me be. So you see here from her? Said, let people live and have their own religion. If someone is into something different, accept that. Stop saying, no, you come from God. I'm Wiccan, and I always will be, so shut the fuck up. As you can see. Three weeks later, Kat posted on April 17th that she seen Papa Legba and was scared. 2 days later, she passed away unexpectedly in her mother's home. According to her obituary, which also notes that she was a proud new mom and adored her baby, Aaliyah. Kate obituary continues. She was always the bright spirit of any gathering, and her resilience to keep going in challenging times inspired many of her family and friends. Kaitlyn always will be so deeply loved and very missed by all. Posts on social media suggest that Kaitlyn's death was supposedly caused by drowning after she had a panic attack in a bathtub. Someone from Facebook group she was part of said they did a reading on her. For those that don't know what a reading is, it's basically like a consultation type of thing, where a person, make it simple, is almost like fortune type of thing. You ask questions, and this person asks the ancestors or deities to answer your questions for you, or to find out your spiritual paths, or to find out, are you called for a certain thing, or come into a certain religion, or a certain thing. And it wasn't Papa Legba she saw. It was actually another Haitian voodoo spirit named Baron, who is referred, I don't know why my page keeps on this. Spirit named Baron, who is referred as the master of the dead. Another post here from the person that did the reading. I just wanted to take a moment and say rest in peace, Kat Reston. I just did a reading on her, and I asked Papa Legba, was that him? And he said, nah, it was Baron. Shaking my head. Y'all have to be careful what y'all tap into. And this is her post. Where she said, I seen Papa Legba today, and I'm scared. It's pretty strange, this post right underneath there where it says no sir. So I wonder what that's all about. People say no sir, meaning that she's kidding. Like psych. Like, know what I mean? So who them people rip to her, whatever that means. She said she from the city, but she was in my group. Kaitlyn's family has set up a GoFundMe to establish a trust for her 5-month-old daughter, Aaliyah. Let's click on that. Let's see. Oh, the goal was to raise $2,000. That was the goal. Raise $2,000, and she received $9,385 so far. So if anybody out there want to donate to this lady, it's a horrible thing and stuff, or something tragic to happen. So I'll put that here in the chat. Everybody donation. The link is right there in the chat. Now, back to this block. See, stuff. Wow, that's something. Says she drowned in the bathtub. Who knows what it could have been? Well, they say it was a panic attack, so that's what we got. She leaves behind a beautiful daughter, Aaliyah, whom she loved more than anyone or anything. I never thought I could ever love anyone as much as I love her, Kaitlyn would say following her birth. She didn't expect or plan on leaving her so soon in her young life. Aaliyah is only 5 months old. Kaitlyn was blessed with a loving family and many supportive friends. Many have asked how they can help, and they want to be there for Aaliyah. Therefore, in honor of Kaitlyn and the love she had for her daughter, this GoFundMe account is set up to establish a trust fund for Aaliyah to assist financially in the next phase of her life without her beloved mother. Kaitlyn was a single mother with a limited income, so your donations will help to give Aaliyah a better start on her life. Scroll through all this crazy shit. Okay, all right. So, as we see here, tragedy. Things happen. So we're going to learn a little about this deed. So, Haitian voodoo practitioners believe in a creative being called Bande, which could translate into French as Bon Dieu. Why is people? Why the fuck is people? All right. Bon Dieu, I believe that's pronounced. However, this supreme creator does not intervene in human affairs, right? So Bande is the chief deity, the head supreme deity in the Haitian voodoo. For this, he has Lwas, spirits at his service. So basically, the supreme deity doesn't contact you or deal with you directly. What he has is spirits to deal with you on his behalf. Something just like Christianity, how you would see in the Torah or whatever. You would see the Most High not dealing with anybody directly, but sending messengers or these so-called angels to deal with you and to teach you lessons and to guide you in certain things. So Papa Legba was one of those chief spirits. Among all the multitude of existing Loas, Papa Legba is undoubtedly the most important of all voodoo tradition. He is the guardian of the passages between the human and the spiritual world. In fact, no one can reach the spirits or even the other Loas, which are the other spirits, part of the religion, without accepting to act as an intermediary, right? So when you're dealing with these Loas, you're asking certain Loas for certain things, for certain blessings or help or whatever. You cannot call upon these deities without going through Papa Legba first. Papa Legba is known as the gatekeeper, the holder of the keys. He's known as the man of the crossroads. He opens up the doors for you to be able to deal with these deities. All right. Now, voodoo is a kind of great mixture of traditions from very diverse horizons. Besides all American animist spiritualities, it is very clearly the influence of Catholicism, which has had the most weight. This diversity is found in just about every voodoo charm. Bande, the supreme creator, is indeed directly derived from the God of Christians. The Lwas, in a way, can be seen as saints. So this is another way of looking at it, and another way how the slaves that were brought from Africa that brought their religion with them, and it came to a time where their religion was suppressed, and they had to accept a new religion. What made it so easy, or made it maybe not easy, or the way they would still be able to practice their religion, Christianity was really similar as far as the deities and the saints with the Catholic religion, right? With the saints, a lot of these saints had the same attributes as these Lwas. So it was a good thing that they had this religion, because they was able to pretend that they were following this religion, and they kept their own religion, but they worked it through the appearance of Catholicism, right? The Lwas, in a way, they can be seen as saints. This is particularly true in the way the practitioners of voodoo worship. With this in mind, a parallel is often drawn between Papa Legba and Saint Pierre, the guardian of the gates of paradise. Others associate him rather with Lazarus, a lame beggar depicted in the Bible, or even with Saint Anthony, the patron of lost objects. But with the majority African roots, however, most of those who have studied voodoo agree that the figure of Papa Legba is indeed from Africa, is more precisely from the kingdom of Dahomey. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it. I've been coming across that word a lot in the last couple of days. Oh, I did the wrong thing. Make sure
Dahomey.
Dahomey, okay. Which is now called Benin, right? Indeed, since it is from this religion that the slaves brought to America came from the roots of voodoo, find their source in the west of the African continent. When the inhabitants, when the inhabitants when the inhabitants of the local tribes were captured and enslaved, they kept with them many of their gods and protective spirits. The voodoo deity Papa Legba is one of them. The slave owners were worried about potential rebellions. They therefore then separated the slaves into groups of individuals from different regions. Thus, the language barrier prevented them from communicating effectively with each other. Many deities were, however, common in several religions, and thus served as points of convergence between slaves. Papa Legba is one of them. He therefore quickly found a place in the slave belief system in Haiti, in the Caribbean, as well as the Southeast and United States. Before I go on, I'd like to talk more about with Haiti and the Caribbean. If you guys checked out in my Paulo Mayambe videos I did, where I bring out how the slaves that were brought to Cuba and the Caribbean, they were able to hold on to their religion a lot more and a lot longer than slaves that were brought into the United States. A lot of the slaves that were brought to Cuba still had contact with some, or not contact, but they still was able to know what was going on in their homeland at different times through the steady flow of slaves coming to and fro from Cuba and Africa. The aspect of Papa Legba, the appearance of this Vodou Lwa has evolved in many ways since its departure from Africa, where animist traditions prevail. Initially, he was seen as the god of fertility and was often represented by an erect phallus. Nowadays, each form of voodoo has its own way of representing it. This Lwa will therefore be described to you in the same way if you speak to a Haitian or a resident of New Orleans. There are, however, some commonalities we can talk about. This Vodou Lwa is often portrayed as an old poor man wearing a straw hat, dressed in rags, and smoking a pipe. He is often accompanied by dogs. Lame, he must lean on a crutch or cane to be able to walk. Even in the description given to you here can make one think of a weak being or even a downright senile. It is nothing. Papa Legba is in fact one of the most powerful gods in the voodoo tradition. If he walks limping, it is because he walks in two worlds at the same time. That of a living, that of spirits, that of the living, that of spirits. The cane on which he rests is an unusual cane. It is in fact the bridge between these two distinctive universes. As you can see on the Veve that I have in my avatar, you can see, oh wow, we got some new people. Okay. Peace, Rudy. Peace, Turk Tally. As you can see on the right side of the Veve of Papa Legba on my avatar, you can see that's his cane. As you can see, the image is like pretty much symmetrical. But on the left side of the three stars and stuff, you can see that uplight line. That's Papa Legba's cane. This Veve has, I want to do a video on it soon. I got to do a lot more studying on it. I've asked some people that I believe start some quotes and shit. They couldn't answer any questions about it. So about Veves and the imaging and what they represent and stuff. I'm gathering some information. Started gathering some information about this. So I have a video coming later on and stuff about these Veves. But anyway, let's get back to this here. Right. So I just wanted to show you his cane and stuff. To show you some other images of them. Let me grab that one here. Legba. Right. That's some cool images that pop up. Like, I can find ones on this right here. All right, let's take that. Well, yeah, I got to do it. All right, here we go. Cool. All right, shit. All right, here we go. That's one image of Papa Legba. Papa Legba is usually associated with the colors of red and black also. He is portrayed as a little boy, which I probably read on. So, Sure. All right. If he is limping, is because let's start here. If he's limping, it is because he walks in two worlds at the same time: that of the living, that of the spirits. The cane in which he rests is an unusual cane. It is, in fact, the bridge between the two distinct universes. The roles and functions of Papa Legba. He stands at the spiritual crossroads and grants and refuses permission to speak with the spirits of Guinea. He is also supposed to speak all human languages. He is always the first and the last spirit invoked in any ceremony because his permission is necessary for any communication between the dead or the Lwas. It opens and closes the doors of the spiritual. The Vodou Lwa of doors and crossroads. In the Haitian voodoo belief system, Papa Legba is therefore a Lwa. Its main function is to be a master of crossroads and doors. Thus, it is he who serves as an intermediary between men and the universe of spirits. Real quick, I want you guys to hit that like button. Make sure you hit that like button. If you're not already a subscriber, make sure you hit that subscribe button for you. Boy, okay. Legba actually removes the barriers that separates us from the other world. Symbolically, he stands as a spiritual crossroads and grants or refuses permission to communicate with the spirits or the ancients. Thanks to its ability to open doors and new routes, invoking Papa Legba can also sometimes reveal new opportunities. Whatever it is, the fact is that this Lwa stands well at the crossroads. It therefore occupies an essential role on which an enormous part of voodoo belief system does. He is an intermediary, the messenger, and without him, the door of the spirit world will remain closed to anyone trying to communicate with heaven. The Vodou Lwa of communication, as it serves as an intermediary between the spirits of the whole planet. This Lwa is supposed to be able to speak all languages of men and spirits. He must indeed understand everything that is said to him so that he can then translate them between those who wish to enter into correspondence. We can really call him a master communicator and a great teacher. Besides his capacity as a translator, the Vodou Lwa Papa Legba also has a gift for eloquence. He is therefore sometimes asked to help us improve our communication, the way we express ourselves. For example, politicians or lawyers will most often make this type of request. The Lwa who calls everyone else in Haitian voodoo is this divinity is therefore the intermediary between the Lwas and humanity. Without him, no Lwa can hear our call. So in other words, he's almost like a Jesus. How Jesus is an intermediary between us and the Creator, or who people in the Jewish faith or Christianity will call we call like an intermediary. So like how Christ said, you have to come through him. Your prayers have to go through Christ to get to Yahweh or Yahweh, whoever you want to call it, within the Bible. He is shown basically like the same. Without his help, any ritual seeking or to bring one to receive his blessings would be futile. There can be no more opening or closing of doors. For all these reasons, it is appropriate to honor it before all other Lwas. In fact, any voodoo ceremony always begins and ends with an invocation from Papa Legba. Because his permissions is necessary for any communication, between mortals and Lwas. And so, we can learn a few lessons from all of this. The Vodou Lwa, Papa Legba, is therefore a great communicator. He speaks all the languages of the world and of the gods. No communication with spirits can occur without disagreement. He alone can open the door of the spirits and Lwas who wish to access the human world. All voodoo ceremonies and rituals must first begin with an offering to him, so he can open the door and let other spirits enter into communication with us. Even if he commands respect, he therefore remains a benevolent and fatherly figure. In addition, he can generally does not require much to be appeased. He is not a very demanding mind. Keep in mind, however, that Papa Legba is considered to be a trickster and a fan of puzzles. Sometimes the messages he sends us can therefore be misunderstood. There is generally a doubt because the meaning is hidden behind a voluntary confusion. Right? So, in other words, Papa Legba, chapter. Yep, the intersection. Yep. So, thanks, Rudy. So, in other words, when you're dealing with Papa Legba, when you have to summon him or invoke him, you're or giving him offerings. There's certain things that you give this Loa that makes him happy, that he wants. He's known as old man with the straw hat, like I said, the cane. So, and these offerings, you would offer him things like coffee. You offer him some other things. Cigars, tobacco, like pack tobacco. You offer him a pipe. Let me show you guys this thing real quick. Legba. Let me see if I can find this video real quick. Yeah, real quick. Can't find it fast. Here we go. Listen. All right. So
ya, papá le va, esta tu mamá, papá le va, llegó y caminando ya, que por la mañana esta tu mamá, papá le va.
I know some of y'all are confused. Y'all see that cross right there. I know some of y'all are confused. What are we talking about?
Estoy llamando que Diego le va, que por la mañana a trabajar mamá. Papá le va, un batala mamá.
Is being offered. He also has candy there. That's another thing. Papa Legba is also portrayed as a young child. Also, and the things he likes is candy. What kid don't like candy? So you give Papa Legba some candy, the nigga hook you up. So let's go. Let's see what else he likes.
Caminando ya, que por la mañana esta tu mamá. Papá le va, esta tu mamá.
You see here, you got some coffee. I'm guessing that's it's like a herb. I don't know what that herb is, and I don't know if that's Florida water. I'm not sure. Nkosi, if you know, you let us know. I put the link there if you want to come in and talk about it. Also, I know you're a little bit more knowledgeable and stuff. You got the candy.
Caminando ya, por la mañana, hasta tu mamá. Viene caminando ya, papá le va, un batala mamá. Papá le va, Diego caminando ya, por la mañana, papá le va mamá. Papá le va, Diego caminando ya, papá le va, un batala mamá.
The cigars, the tobacco he likes.
Papá le va, Diego, papá le va, esa es tu mamá. Papá le va.
Papa Legba's pipe being offered to him.
Caminando ya, que por la mañana esta tu mamá. Papá le va, Diego caminando ya, que papá le va, esta tu mamá. Papá le va.
Money.
Llegó caminando ya, que por la mañana esa es tu mamá. Papá le va, estoy llamando que Diego le va, que por la mañana a trabajar mamá. Papá le va, Diego, papá le va,
he's doing now is divination. I believe those are like cola nut shell. I don't know cola nut. I forgot what those type of shells are, but they have cowrie shells, I guess, placed in them or something. In some of these African traditions, they would use things like coconut shells and stuff. With this, they're using cowrie shells. I believe this is not Haitian voodoo, but this deity is worshipped in all different aspects of African religions that were brought to the Americas and the Caribbean. They split off in different type of sects. Certain people, it's been fused with different African traditions from different parts of Africa and different African traditions that were practiced in the Americas and the Caribbean. They also fused with the Native Americans. They also fused with the Spanish and the French. I have another lesson that I'm going to do on Spiritism and the origins of that coming out of France and how it has been added into the practice of some of these Western African traditions that were developed post-slavery and during slavery and stuff. So you would have measures like Palomyambe, Voodoo, you would have 21 Division, you would have Banda, I believe it's called, Lukumi, like Santeria. You have Ifa, which is part of Santeria. Santeria derives from Ifa. You have Palomante, Kimbisa. You have what else is that? Yeah, there's a whole bunch of different sects and stuff like that. Different worshiping different spirits. Some of the spirits are pretty much the same, but this represented in different ways. There's something I've been taught, like, but my memory ain't too good and stuff. I have to some stuff. But when he's throwing down these shells, as you can see here, there's 2 down and 2 up. That represents something. So there could be a way that you throw and they land, and it can mean a definite yes, right? Or it can mean I'm not sure, but it's a good chance. So you throw it again, right? Then you have some that are saying no, not at all. Like, you know what I mean? You have different for however the combination of these shells fall, like up or down. Like you have there's different deviations. Like I said, they use coconut shells. However, the shells fall the same way. You can do this with coins, like pennies or whatever. You can do this also with the cowrie shells. You can do it with bones. There's all different ways. They have these things called chalamba, chalangas, or something like that. I can't pronounce it. It's chalangas or chamanjas or something like that. I forgot how you pronounce it. But basically, it's like a chain with these discs or like shell-like type things on them. And they're all strung out on this chain, separated, spaced out on this chain. And what you do, you would throw the chain down, and however, whatever side that these shells land on with the string, you would determine your answer from the deed. So these figures. respect of Papa Legba's summoning rituals. All Lwas have negative sides and can show them if they're not treated well enough. During the invocation of Papa Legba, like all the other Lwas, you will always have to show great respect. Peace, Josh. I'm up in here, up in the goddamn building. All right. I don't know what the last thing y'all heard me say, but I'm going to start from this. I believe this is where it's like the respect for Papa Legba's summoning ritual, right? As you can see, what I just played a little earlier, it says all Lwas have negative sides and can show them if they're not treated well enough. During the invocation of Papa Legba, like all other Lwas, you will always have to show great respect, even downright veneration, so that he remains benevolent towards you. If he keeps the doors between the worlds, what could prevent him from letting malicious spirits to be unleashed on you, right? So, before I talk a little bit more, back to this young lady that has passed away, and people are blaming Papa Legba for it. They're blaming Smitty for it. Some people I heard on the internet, they're blaming drugs. I don't know how true that is. But from the article, what the family said, it was a panic attack. And I guess the girl drowned in the bathroom. Which is very sad. Stuff. Those go out to the family. For the people that believe that this Vodou Lwa killed her, it could be that they were telling her that basically she didn't know what she was doing and she was trying to work with this thing. And this is something that a lot of occult practitioners do. Some are very strict and careful with what they deal with. And there's some that feel that they can deal with whatever they want and do whatever they want with it, using their occult background, whatever it could be. It could be Wiccan, Luciferian, like hate voodoo or hoodoo or whatever, like, you know what I mean? OTO, you know what I mean? The whole Alice Crawley type stuff, and like, you know what I mean? Like the OTO and the Golden Dawn, that you can just do what the fuck whatever you want. I got to learn at a young age. When I was in the Hebrew Israelites, but I was still very young. This is probably been like around 2000, something like that. One of my friends, his mother was a Wiccan priestess, right? And she had a book in our house that I grabbed in the house and started reading it. So I'm very interested in all types of books and stuff, right? And what it said in there about voodoo, Haitian voodoo, is that it's the most unexplained type of magic in the whole magic world, as you can say. All the religions that deal with spell work, and, like, You know what I mean? All this stuff. It was the most explained and the most powerful of them all. To the point, and this book was written by Caucasians and stuff. They said they can't figure it out. Where these other ones, they can put their finger on what's actually happening. But Haitian voodoo was something that was very mysterious to them. A lot of these Western occult sciences or religions too that did not develop out of the African traditions that were brought through slavery, were actually introduced in the Americas by another so-called black man he was a mulatto, but a lot of people call him a black person. Beverly Randolph. If you guys can look up Beverly Randolph, there's really not too much on him, but he plays a very, 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 very important role in the occult sciences in the Americas. He was the first one to bring the Rosicrucian order to the Americas. He was studied by Aleister Crowley. Aleister Crowley studied his work. Also, Madeline Blavatsky studied his work and actually came to the point of being jealous of him. Upon his death, a lot of people think that it was Madame Blavatsky that did a ritual to get rid of it. But that's another video for me to do. So these things, and when you're respecting these Lwas, like say you're doing these rituals, you're trying to do a ritual that you just saw on YouTube, and now since like the whole thing, us going to the Judah and all that shit, right? You get a lot of people that fell out of the Hebrew Israelite thing, the Torah, and now they see like these cultures are theirs. They're their ancestry. It's their inheritance. Like this is what they come from, right? Which is nothing wrong with that. But they want to go about it the way that they went about it within the cult of the Hebrew Israelites. Whether you can just do whatever the hell you want, because most of these people that did that were noobs. There were people that just got into Hebrew Israelites, and they were blown away with it, and then they got out of it, and now they're looking for something else, and they find this, which is nothing wrong with them finding this, but they go about searching or practicing or giving reverence to it in the wrong ways that can end up getting you hurt spiritually and physically and mentally, right? So you will watch kooky YouTube videos, these kooky ATR African like religion type people on YouTube that is telling you to do whatever, and you go follow their instructions, and there's something could fuck you up severely. It could cost you your life. It could cost you your children's lives. It could cost you your mama and your daddy, your aunt and your cousin, too. Your mama and your daddy and your cousin, too. Yeah, it can fuck you up for not doing the due diligence. This is something that you don't play with. You don't go listen to somebody on YouTube and try to parrot what he did on YouTube and think you know what you're doing. To be initiated, a lot of these African traditions in the Americas, they're set up to be hidden. And it's only the people that have a calling for it. So it's like you would go, what are they called? Zanzes, or I can't think of the word right now. It's on the tip of my tongue. It's like a ceremony that you would go to, and in voodoo, in the voodoo religion, and they will tell you, they will do like a like reading, or the spirits will speak to you through someone that's there, which is like the trancing, and they call it the riding. The spirit is riding the person, or the spirit is possessing this person, and that spirit speaks. The person whose body that is no longer coherent, and this spirit, this Lwa, is speaking through this person, and the person will tell you, I guess, are you called to do this? If you're not called, they won't what's the word? They won't accept you. And so this is not your path. This is not the religion that you're meant. This is not something that you're meant to get into. Yeah, soul mount, like, yeah, mounting. That's another word that they call it. Right. Jay Google, what's up? I think my sister did that shit. She lashed out. Oh, okay. Peace, Josh. What up, Josh? Yup, fear is about fear will fuck you up. If you doing some shit and you got a little bit of fear, that fear will fuck your ass up all day. That fear come for your ass and shit. Yup, Magic Kingdom. This is one of the largest spells. Yup. The Cozy says they treat our ancestral ways the same way that they treat Jesus, and it ain't happening, man. Exactly. But when you're dealing with Jesus, it's like the same shit. It's the same thing. You gotta respect him. You can't come half-assed. You sit there asking for help, and you wicked in the motherfucker, and you expect the things to happen. I was speaking to somebody the other day about this, and I was saying how before I became a Hebrew Israelite, right? Like I was in the whole skateboarding, like punk rock, like skinhead culture, all that shit, like, right? And through all of that, I was brung into religion. Like I grew up going to church, like, and shit, like very often. Not every goddamn Sunday, but the majority of them, my ass is in church, right? But I didn't get it. I went to Sunday school. I was like, yo, this shit's stupid, because they just teach me the same dumb shit over and over. I ain't really learning nothing. It's the same shit I've been learning, but it's just a different book, like a different coloring book or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? And through these cultures, I found Rastafarianism, right? And yep, thank you, Pete. In Rastafarianism, right? So I was amazed. I'm like, oh shit, like this goddamn, this is the second coming of Christ, black man, goddamn it, right? And going through the whole Ethiopian thing, learn about the Ethiopians, learn about the what we call the Ethiopian warriors, and they had their dreadlocks and all this stuff, like, right? What's the other stuff about Rastafari? Y'all know what all about this stuff, right? So I was telling them, I'm like, the same prayers that I would send up to Jah Rastafari, Haile Selassie, right? I would receive the blessings from these prayers. Josh said, please help me, Jesus. Here come. Shaitan, like, here I am to help. Know what I mean? The whole Bobo Rasta the cozy, right? So like I learned about a lot of different stuff. Before I really learned about the different sects and stuff, I was kind of on my way out of it. But like it was just straight up smoking ganja, nigga. And you know what I'm saying? Yo, burning that good ganja and shit from Harlem, New York. You know what I'm saying? Burn that good ass ganja. You know what I'm saying? Reading your Bible. You know what I'm saying? And praising Haile Selassie, nigga. And listen to them dub plates, nigga. That's what it was all about, right? That's all I knew. And being vegan. I was vegan. But how people are vegan today was different from being vegan back then. People were vegan back then for a lot of like animal rights type thing. So when I was vegan, I was strict hardcore. Like I was in the ALF. I don't know if anybody you guys know about ALF. You can look it up. Like I don't want to talk too much about that shit on the internet because that's some wild like terrorist ass shit, right? So I was in the ALF and you know what I mean, all these extreme like pro vegan animal rights type things. I was all in my whole skinhead shit and all that shit. I Rastafari. So Rastafari, right? So I was into all that shit and the whole vegan thing, not wearing leather. I didn't eat nothing that came from an animal, insect, none of that shit. Like all my sneakers was fucking canvas or hemp or whatever. I ain't wearing no leather belts or none of that shit. There wasn't shit from no damn animal going through my system or on my body or in my house. Right? That's how I went. That's how I got down. So I was saying back to my thing. So all these things that I got into that I was praying to, I was receiving these blessings and these prayers were being answered, right? So I get into the Hebrew Israelite shit, right? And these damn prayers and these things are being answered. I even spent a moment in the Hare Krishna thing. I was studying that. And even in that, my goddamn prayers are being answered. Know what I mean? So I learned through experience that the creator is way bigger than this goddamn book. You can learn from the book, but he way bigger than that book. Way bigger than that book. And he not just here for these little imaginary ass people. Know what I'm saying? So there's different routes, there's different paths to get to this creator, right? So let me move on to get more into this lesson, right? So, okay, these are the things when you're giving respect to these deities. This is something that Papa Legba likes, right? It's candy, chocolate, alcohol, especially black rum, like dark rum, pipe tobacco, cigars, coffee, cane syrup. Be aware, however, that he's sometimes satisfied by simply being thanked. Dang, these motherfuckers always calling my ass about some dumb shit. I'm calling, motherfucker. You see him on the goddamn phone. Y'all motherfuckers want to call. God damn, right? So motherfuckers made me lose my goddamn thought. Shit. All right, so motherfuckers, stop. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Whoa. Call my ass. All right. Okay. So I forgot where I was at. That shit fucking me up, right? So Pierre, however, that he sometimes is satisfied by simply being thanked for opening the doors as we asked him. Suffice to say that alongside some of those other laws, why the fuck is this motherfucker calling me? Stop calling, motherfucker. I have to edit this shit out. The motherfucker stop calling me and shit. The motherfucker keep calling. All right. What are the reasons for practicing a Papa Legba invocation ritual? If you have trouble continuing to advance your life, if you're stuck at the crossroads of several paths, this Vodou Lwa is the one you should contact. Remember, however, as mentioned above, that it always waits for payment in one form or another. Remember, however, as mentioned above, Oh shit! I forgot to hit that damn button. My bad. Somebody said sound like shit. Sound like shit. I like. Oh, okay. Sounds like shit. The Cozy said, "I'm sorry about that. I don't even know where I left off, but I think I left that off after the rum." Well, I kept reading, but I guess you guys wasn't hearing me from like quite a while ago. So let me see where could it stop now. I know you guys heard the whole thing about the offering, but the other thing was about how you have to be properly initiated into these religions. So it's not like something that you can just jump into and read a book and do. There's secrets and mysteries within these religions that you're only taught within the initiation. So some of these initiations require you to do things like wear white for a whole year and not look at a mirror for whatever reason. I don't know, but maybe hey, I'll be able to share that with you guys and stuff when I get more knowledge. But the Papa Legba is looked at in like Santeria, Haitian Voodoo, New Orleans Voodoo. He's also known as a Legba, also, and other aspects of these African traditions. Also, Lucero and Palomayambe is another aspect of Papa Legba, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. These deities will want a payment for the things that you ask for. So you respect them. You come with them with respect. And this case with this girl, if this is what happened, it could be of her negligence or this ignorance of the religion, and she wasn't ready for it. Some spirits, which are filled with the fuck you doing, to deal with them. All right, good. It sounds good. All right, cool. To deal with them, because if you deal with them disrespectfully, they will fuck you up, point blank, severely. So I'm gonna put the link in here if you guys want to come in. That's the link there. If anybody want to come in and talk. One second. Okay, so Papa Leg was also known in like pop culture when you're dealing with people say like Robert Johnson. Yeah, if any of you guys are old as me and stuff, you know about the movie Crossroads that had that guy who was it? The dude that played the what was his name? I forgot his name. He was Chachi in Happy Days. I think that's the same dude. Is that the same dude? No, that's not the same dude. That's not the dude. That's the same dude, Chachi. The dude that played in Karate Kid, the first Karate Kid, right? He played in it was called Crossroads. This is where a lot of you conspiracy nuts and fucking weirdos and shit will like to say, "Oh, you sold your soul to Satan and fucking Lucifer and all this shit," right? For fame. And actuality, that comes from meeting Papa Legba at the Crossroads. Say right. So this deity has numerous appearances in the movies and series and stuff. We could only quote American Gods by Neil Gaiman and Witches Abroad by Terry Pratchett. He also plays an important role in the television series American Horror Story, where he is wrongly described as a deity demanding human sacrifice. Right? He doesn't demand human sacrifice people. His qualities as deities of the crossroads made him a reoccurring subject of the blues in the beginning of the 20th century. According to a legend spread in the Mississippi Delta, the famous musician Robert Johnson, the blues singer, would have invoked Papa Legba and offered him his soul in exchange for music success. Right? Although over time, the story has been twisted to speak more of an encounter with Johnson and the devil. Local folklore preferred to speak of some advice received in exchange for a song played on the guitar, right? Anyway, this legend was the subject of many interpretations and is a major theme in the musical current that is called the Delta Blues. If we may think the opposite at first glance, most blues songs of this era do not seek to invoke either the devil or any Vodou Lwa. In fact, it is quite simply the social suffering linked to the condition of the blacks at the time it was expressed. All right, it's Robert Johnson there. We get something else here. Yeah, the movie's called The Crossroads. That was a great movie. Yeah, if anybody want to come in, the Cozy, if you're still watching this stuff, stop in. Josh, I know you got a mystical side to your ass and shit. You can bring your ass up out here. Who else is up here? Anybody else that want to come up in here? Try to show a couple of videos. Get the hell up out here. I'm pushing 2 hours here. So let me see what else I got for you. Okay. Why is the stupid motherfucker just keep calling me? Oh, fucking weird. I got a funny video and stuff. I don't know if I really have time to play it. With this lady's experience with it. That's really good. It's too long. You know what? I'm just gonna throw one out. I'm just throw one out there. I'm gonna throw one out. I'm gonna see what this dude got to say. Nah, I'm not gonna play that. We need too bright. I watch a couple. It was one certain. You know what? I'm gonna play this lady here because she's funny. I know P gonna get a kick out of it. So I'm gonna play this lady.
People say I talk about some weird stuff, some
I had to ask you to be on my show. Ask this nigga to be talking on my shit. This crazy lady here. She's something else.
Why didn't cut this TV down? Hey y'all, it's me. Probably should have did something to my hair. I'm back with another video.
This lady is from
I am in such a horrible mood today. I don't know. But anyway, let me get this video out the way. This is probably the only video I'm going to do today because I'm just not. I ain't feeling it. For one, I didn't sleep good last night. So that's that. Okay. Someone left me an email and said that, and I'm paraphrasing, that they attempted to work with Papa Legba. They burned the candle came back, I'm assuming it was a glass candle, and the glass candle came back really dark. The glass was really dark, and they, kind of wanted to know what was going on because things were, not working the way that the person wanted them to work. Let me say this. If you don't understand Orishas, don't work with them. If you don't understand the characteristics of an Orisha, don't work with them. You're not ready. That's why I said you have to have a reading to find out what Orisha you should be working with. I don't work with the Lwas. Okay? Papa Legba is different from a regular Legwa. I heard dreams and I was like, okay, I'm not going to be able to deal with you. I'm going to leave you alone. He is a trickster. He want to play games with you, and I'm not about those games. Stop playing with these Orishas and these Lwas. If you don't understand them, leave them alone.
Leave them motherfuckers alone.
If you're not willing to do some research or sit with somebody that know what they're doing, or get you a godparent, or get you a reading, leave them alone. It ain't for you.
People that teach you, initiate you, are considered your godparents, and you're the godson of these priests that teach you how to work with these spirits, right? So this lady is basically telling you she don't fuck with them motherfuckers. She got her own thing that she messes with, right? Her own deities that she deal with, or whatever, right? You don't have to deal with all these deities, but when you're dealing with the voodoo, you have to call out Papa Legba to open the doors to be able to speak with them, right? So she don't fuck with these motherfuckers. That's what she's telling you. And don't fuck with them unless you know what you're doing. Unless you have the knowledge on it, right? So let's listen to what she said.
Yeah. Because all of the Orishas ain't for everybody. You have to be picked to work with these Orishas. That's why I said get a reading to find out who you're supposed to work.
You don't choose voodoo or these Orishas. They choose you. So it's not up to you. It's up to them.
Work with your ancestors. They are safe. They love you. They know you. That's your bloodline. They would never do anything to harm you. Work with them. Or just work general. Work with the 7 African powers. Because it kind of clumps the Orishas in together. You're not dealing with Papa Legba. You're not, because Papa Legba is on that voodoo type stuff. And if you don't know anything about that, leave that alone.
As simple as that.
People
fuck alone, Mr. White Man. I ain't trying to hear what the fuck you got to say about nothing. Wait for your ass to fuck up off my screen. Take this shit.
If you don't understand the Orishas, if you haven't taken time to read and research, because there's certain things that I don't do because I don't understand it. Maybe it's not in my lineage to do that. I haven't been approved to do that. The Orishas ain't told me you should be doing that. You have to get a reading to find out who your head Orisha is and who you're supposed to be working with. Because you ain't supposed to be working with everybody. Papa Legba had you out here having some strange dreams, and everybody ain't. Some people ain't ready for that. I ain't.
Which is very
There's
true.
things I'm scared of, and I just don't mess with it if I'm scared of.
For all y'all that left that Hebrew Israelite bullshit, right? And y'all looking for African spirituality and stuff, and y'all think y'all just gonna approach that shit like y'all approach that Hebrew Israelite bullshit, you in for a rude fucking awakening. You can fuck around and try to summon one of these motherfucking Lwas or summon one of these motherfucking deities in the Goetia or whatever the fuck you want to fuck with in this whole occult world and shit. You could be in for something that you're not ready for. Like the lady said, motherfuckers having crazy dreams and shit. And Papa Legba is known as a trickster. He's like a child too. Now he's not only the old man with the cane, he's also shown as a strong, good-looking man, and he's also shown as a child, a playful child. That's one of the offerings of the candy and shit like that, right? So, the Papa Legba could fuck with you. Like, say, for example, you want a new job or a new career. You're tired of working where you work at, right? And you ask Papa Legba to help you get a new career, help you get more money or whatever and shit. He might go a roundabout fucked up ass way showing you. Like how the saying goes, be careful what you ask for, right? So be very specific. So if you might ask him, oh, I need a new job or I need some money, that nigga might motherfucking break your motherfucking legs, nigga. And you get $1 million settlement. Know what I mean? That's how you ask this shit. That nigga might fuck with you. Or it might not be as severe as that, or it could be like he might show you a way, but go about it to teach you a lesson. But it might not be a lesson that you want to learn right away. Know what I mean? He might hurt you or take something from you that you believe that you need. Say like your job. He might take your job away from you, right? And you might live fucked up for fucking 2 years or whatever. And then you might get a new job. Why is this motherfucker? Sorry. Can't even turn this. And I put you in a wheelchair, you can't enjoy the money, but you got that motherfucker. Oh, I need money to help my children. Like, know what I'm saying? You might fuck your ass up, you get $1 million and get your kids be straight for life. Or some stupid shit like that. Like, know what I mean? So be careful about like what you doing. You know if you doing something good or bad. Know what I'm saying? Like you know what you doing. So the nigga might show you by fucking you up a little bit. Know what I mean? By fucking you up to show you. Or it might not be as severe, or it could be something that's funny that could have happened to you. Like, you know what I mean? Or some shit. Oh, you want to meet a woman or something. He might, I'm using the most severe, crazy, funniest ways and shit. That nigga might have your ass fall down the goddamn stairs. Or trip on some shit and the girl walk up on you, helping you up, and that might be your new wife. Or some dumb shit. Like, know what I mean? It can work like that. Let this lady finish talking so I can get up out of here. Oh, Obe. Yeah, that's another African tradition that is in Jamaica. Yeah, the Obe. I learned about that. Well, I didn't learn about it. I heard about it. But the internet really wasn't popping when I was a Rasta. So, like, I couldn't hop up on the internet and, like, learn about it and shit like that.
I don't mess with it. I'm sorry. I'm just
I want to
not.
do a video on Obe one day.
But, yeah, I do work with Legba. Legba is my father. Oshun is my mother. So I can work with them. And, you know, someone else said, oh, well, I heard that, oh, Yah and Yibba Yah, you can't put them together because they fighting. And Y'all quit it, okay? Orishas ain't out here fighting each other. If you get made, if you get crowned, if you are a priest, you will have all of the Orishas. You bring them home with you after the ceremony. So what you think? You gonna bring them home? They gonna be in your house fighting? No. If you're not willing to do research and do this religion correctly, then don't do it. Now, I do personal one-on-one.
This getting a little too out into her own, so we can stop that at that. Once again, there's plenty of cults out there. Like, you know, I'm known for talking about the cults. There's also voodoo cults. There's Ifa cults. There's Palomiyambe cults. There's let me show y'all some. See if I can do this. This is a cool site, a cool page, YouTube page, not YouTube, Facebook. It's called Heroes Exposed, right? And within it, let's see if I can get the photos. Some things that can happen to your ass fucking around with these niggas. That there's a lot of people out just to get your money. Now, these initiations for these religions, say like voodoo, and there's people that go to Haiti and give some Haitian nigga 30 grand to be initiated. 30,000, that's right. I didn't make a mistake. Not 300, not $30, not 3,000. Excuse me, not $3,000. $30,000. 30,000 to be initiated into the religion. In Haiti. You can buy Haiti for $30,000 probably. Right? So, damn, never got that shit. I can't find it. But it's called Santeros Exposed. I'm on the page, but I can't find the post down there. Where someone wanted to be scratched in Santeria. Not in Santeria, in Palomiyambe. And the person was basically mutilated. So this man probably paid about $10,000. I believe that's like one of the going prices for it. And some of these things, they do cost a lot of money. And just because they give you a high price tag doesn't always mean, sometimes it's an excessive price tag, then you would know. But there is an average price for these initiations. And it goes into on the things that they need for the ceremony. So you have live animals that you have to purchase. You have to purchase certain herbs, certain animal things, like, you know what I mean? Animal like skins or bones or certain, like, you know what I mean, herbs that you don't have access to in the United States. They have to be imported. And these things cost a lot of money. So there is money that, and some of these rituals and these ceremonies last for days. And the people that are participating in it have to be fed. They have to be cared for and stuff like that going through these days. Like, you know what I mean? So these people have to be compensated for their right? So that lady a trip. Yeah, hustling. And there's a lot of people that get taken by these people, yo. There's a lot of people that get taken by these people. There's a lot of them. A lot of people get taken, especially by this, because it's so close that you really don't know what's what when you're searching for information on this, right? I was recently in a group last week. This guy, right? I'm gonna start making videos on this nigga and shit. He started acting, right? So what he had going, I was like, yo, this is some coach shit, like, because I'm asking questions. I'm asking sincere questions, right, about what he's teaching, and automatically he gets defensive by asking questions. Now, one of the things that you're taught by people that are sincere in the religions is to ask questions. Some of these questions can't be answered. I understand that. Some of these things are secrets that only reveal to the initiates, right? I understand that. But it's a way you always go about it, right? I was thrown out as a little group. This way, it's a simple question. Simple question. Like, what does this mean? What does this symbolize? Like, right? The panties get all up in a bunch and shit. Right? So I'm like, hey, there you go. There you go. And what he's doing is one of the things that he was doing was showing people a ritual to do. A lot of these people are beginners, don't have any knowledge of this religion or anything. And he seems to be making up his own lane or own tradition within the religion, right? I'm not knowledgeable to really speak on it like that, but I'm knowledgeable enough to speak on his behavior, his way of thinking and interacting to come to a conclusion with what he's trying to do, right? So I'm about to close it up. That I got some more cool videos that are gonna be coming your way. I got some more shit talking videos. I know y'all like that shit. I know y'all love that. Yep, Comfy's people. Yeah, first sign of a cult, right? I try to ignore it at first. I'm like, maybe I could be just bugging and shit, like, right? Then all of a sudden, I'm like, God damn, here it comes. Here it comes. The isolation. The isolation comes. Then the fear of not being taught. Like, I'm the key to this. I'm your only key. I'm your savior to this religion, to this knowledge. And it can only come the right way, it can only come through me. I'm the savior. You know what I mean? That's how they work. You just be very mindful. Pay attention. If motherfucker don't want to answer your questions, bounce. Because the nigga don't know. Because the nigga don't know. His goddamn self. He might know enough to fool you. He know enough to fool your ass. Wanting you to do a goddamn ritual. You don't know what the fuck he doing. Talking about he made his own Lwa and fucking shit. Nigga. You trying to tell niggas to do some shit. They ain't initiated. They don't know the first thing about this shit. You trying to tell this nigga to draw up this vey that nobody else has seen, that nobody knows anything about, to draw up this damn thing, put candles on it, and start offering like fucking shit and putting shit together and whatnot. You fucking crazy nigga. Why is this nigga fucking calling me, goddammit? You stupid motherfucker. Right? So let me get the hell on out of here. Excuse my language, people. I know I'll be bugging out. Shit, y'all see the shit I gotta go through, right? So with that, Killer B, goddamn wish to find the gentleman. What I'm gonna go out with? I gotta go out with something. I just go out. Nah, that song's goddamn wrong. Go over this one.
People say I told
that motherfucker keep popping up. He worse than the nigga calling me. God damn it. Yeah, so thanks everybody that showed up tonight. Peace to Jay Google. Peace to Sister P, Mrs. B. Peace to Nicozy, Traytel, Tweez Lamar, Josh. Who else was up in this joint? Anybody else was up in this joint? Let me scroll through here and see anybody else was up in this joint. Thank you, Pete. Says thanks for stopping by. We hope you had a great experience. Keep thinking freely. Keep your face covered and your hands wide. Take care of yourself and your family, loved one. One love. Good night, everyone. Thank you very much, Pete, for that. He always got some nice things to say. Always got some intelligent shit come out her damn mouth and to tell the people to straighten their asses up and shit and act right. That's all I like about it. Right on. So, what we got here? Goddamn, what's on in general? We got a rich. Burn their ass up, goddamn it. And I'm out of here.
Azunke parin Legba azunke parin Legba parin Legba mais l'argent cassé washo azunke parin parin Vodou Lwa azunke parin Legba azunke parin Legba l'argent cassé washo azunke parin Legba azunke parin Legba mais l'argent cassé washo azunke parin Vodou Lwa parin Legba azunke parin Legba l'argent cassé washo azunke parin Vodou Lwa parin Legba azunke.
Yo, my bad, Mike. If that was you calling in, yo, I think that was you. I'm gonna call afterwards, though. I'll catch you on the next one.
Shout out
to Killer Mike, goddamn. Shout out to Killer Mike, goddamn it.
We azunke o parin no Vodou Lwa. We parin no Vodou Lwa. Parin Legba, mais l'argent cassé washo. Azunke parin Vodou Lwa. Parin Legba azunke parin Legba l'argent cassé washo. Azunke parin Legba azunke parin no Vodou Lwa. Papa Legba, mais l'argent cassé washo. Azunke parin Vodou Lwa. Parin Legba azunke mabrele.
Actually, now that I think about it, there is a dark aspect of Papa Legba. I believe, if I'm correct, if I'm wrong, someone correct me. If Papa Legba was, it is represented as in the daytime, but then you have I forgot. Is it Papa Legba? But it's like the opposite side, the negative side of it. Or I don't believe it's negative, but it's like a dark side of him that is represented in the nighttime. Like when you give it offerings in the crossroads in the day, in the night, it's like two different Lwas you're dealing with. But anyway, that's another show.
Hey, Papa Legba, mais l'argent cassé washo. Azunke parin Vodou Lwa.
That image isn't Baron Samedi, but Bear Smitty wears a top hat, like the lower of the dead. But I don't know why they showing him on the video.
Vodou Lwa, papa Legba, Kaitlyn Reston, cassé one show, azunke, malgré les parrains, Vodou Lwa, azunke, ma pele,
Thanks, y'all. Y'all have a good night. Till it be the goddamn witch finder general. Y'all got a witch. Burn their asses up. Peace, y'all. See you later, P. Bye, Mrs. B. Josh, J. Google, Nicosi. Please, Lamar. Trey Tell. I'm out. Peace.